Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Deshonde. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, rankings list, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box, in the video down below. Again, if you're a little bit of a fan, it's just the computer doing some processing, which takes a little bit of effort. Understandably, so I apologize for that. But Deshonde is asking, I have the question here, that's why I'm looking over here. Have action movies of today lost their edge when compared to action films of the 80s and 90s? And in my opinion, yes. I mean, edge, absolutely. Absolutely 100%. Action film, and it deals with the political PC status of the world. It deals with different tastes. The general public, the personal tastes are different nowadays. Who prefer more superhero movies, more movies in the style of I'm thinking like what big like special effects CGI. I mean, that type of format is what people prefer, whether it be a new Spider-Man movie or a new Ghostbusters movie or something to that effect. Action films back in the day in the 80s and 90s, they had sex, they had tits, they had cocaine. The bad guys were really bad guys. Like, you think of the bad guys in the 80s and 90s, what do you have? Characters that would deliciously love to be evil, and they don't apologize for it. Now, you can have villains do that for variety, yes, and there were. But there was also villains like Hans Gruber that would shoot a guy in the head and the fucking head blows up because you see it, the brains hit the back of the fucking, the door. John McClane's like, we'll do it the hard way. You'll have Clarence Boddicker, bitches leave, and shoot people's hands off, and fucking take grenades and tease people with it, and can you fly, Bobby, and throw one of his men out the goddamn back of the van. They weren't afraid to be vicious, evil villains. Whether to hit women, shoot people in the nuts, shoot people in the face, blow their head up, blow their arms off. Even Cobra, the Night Slasher. Take a woman, kill him. Not care, not give a shit. I'm not saying there's no villains in action films that do that, but it's a lot less. It's more, how do we find a way to make them either they are just vicious evil, but the viciousness does not really come through on the screen in terms of what they do, what they say, how they talk. Back in the day, they'll say any curse word, which makes sense because they're bad guys. The bad guys are not limited to PC language culture. They'll say maggot with the F in front of it. They don't care because they're bad guys. Bad guys will talk bad. They'll do cocaine. When was the last movie you saw where a bad guy did cocaine? Like, when was the last movie? I'm trying to think of the last action movie where you had bad guys doing cocaine and all that shit. Like Predator 2 at the beginning. Easy. Scorpio is ready. When was the last time you saw that in a movie? And for just action films in general, when was the last time you saw an action movie with tits, with nudity? With women, strippers dancing, taking the, shake it, baby, for Dude Nukem. When was the last time you saw women like that? But no, we can't have that because it's too sexist against women, as it's demeaning to women. There are strippers in real life. There are hookers in real life. There are women who are horny in real life, just like there are men who are horny in real life. Just what the shit happens in real life. Welcome to the world of reality. And yes, guys, a lot of guys go see movies, and a lot of guys like pretty women, love nudity and tits. They love it. They love action, they love gore. A lot of guys love that type of stuff. Now, everyone's cup of tea, but a lot of guys do. And that brought an edge to it. Kids, oh, I gotta see the R-rated because I'm told not to. But your older brother, or your cousin, or your dad, or even, hell, maybe even your mom is seeing it, but they won't let you see it. Oh, I want to see that. Ooh, wow, titties. Oh, wow, look at that lady's ass. And oh, wow, the beggar's doing cocaine. Oh, shit. And they're hopped up on PCP, and oh, wow, he just blew that guy's arm off. And all that type of stuff you're able to do and showcase and not have to apologize for. And same with the good guys. Good guys were able to fuck up the bad guys, beat them up, shoot them, kill them, destroy evil without holding back. Because you didn't have a lot of people going, well, that, they should talk it out. Oh, come on, you need to... You can have stories with the, let's talk it out, or the villain is sympathetic and try to cure them, bleeding heart, that type of stuff. The bleeding heart hippie mentality, that can work in stories effectively. It has in the past, it can do it again. But not every fucking film has to have that. And well, that's not fair to say because not every film has it, because you have villains in John Wick films, Nobody, things of that nature. But even then, they can't be as edgy as... And edgy could be a word used in a bad way, like you do it just to be edgy. But when I mean edgy, I mean you don't need to have, not putting these little incremental limits to your action picture. The good guy, wanted dead alive, Rutger Hauer. Fuck the bonus, boom, here's a grenade, blows up Gene Simmons, blows him up. Crowd, whoa, just, fuck that guy. Even John Rambo 4. Gutting him like a pig, kicking him. Not the best CG elements, but, that was, ooh. When he got the .50 caliber and turned that one guy into paste in front of him. Ooh, yeah. Like, Rambo 4 was one of those remnants of just a very action film that didn't hold back and said, fuck it. You had that back in the day with Total Recall. Remember Arnold? This guy's dead, so I gotta use him as a shield. You're not gonna see that in movies today, because, the hero, look how bad that is. That's mean. That's mean for the bad guy to do that. That's too mean for the hero to do it. It's a fucking action movie with life and death struggles. Don't worry about fucking being mean. Oh, Arnold in Commando, he just dropped that guy, and he said a one-liner. That's so mean. That's so sadistic. It's fun. It's entertainment. Escapism. But if you enjoy that, you must be sick in the head. You must be... Again, they just go on this almost, many times, a overbearing snowflake mentality of... I'm like, are you shitting me, man? Are you kidding me? It used to be like you could have blood squibs, these little explosives, so people get shot. Or the heroes, when they take on a villain like Cliffhanger. I'm going to take them, I'm going to fucking impale them. Or Die Hard 2, I'm going to fucking stab the motherfucker right in the eyeball with an icicle. You don't have that. Except maybe the John Wick films. Which even then, I love the John Wick films a lot. I do wish they put a bit more blood squibs. But I think one of the things people love about them is the hero kicking ass, taking names, and just how is he going to kill a villain? What different ways are you going to kill a bad guy? headshots. Oh, now he's got the shotgun. Oh, now they got body armor. Oh, how's he going to kill these guys with body armor? You know, and it get under the helmet. Even John Wick 3, like the knife scene. He's got like a fucking axe and you in the one guy's eye. Ooh, because people love seeing that. Good guy fucked up bad guys in either crazy or gory or inventive ways. And it gives a bit of that edge back to an action film that's been missing for a while. And I think that's why the John Wick films, one of the, not the only, but one of the reasons why it's become successful as a franchise is I think there's a chunk of audience that misses that. But you also have to do it well. You can't just have that and then that equals a good movie. Because I love the 80s and 90s. There were a lot of bad movies in that era too. But to me, there's a lot more good movies, in my opinion, than today's era. On a side note, I find it funny, like, I did a review of Spider-Man No Way Home, right? I know this is off tangent. But I did a review of Spider-Man No Way Home. I wasn't a fan of it. If you were, to each their own. And some guy said, well, of course you didn't like it. It wasn't a campy film from the 1900s to the 2000s. You don't like anything. I'm like, well, I like Joker. I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I liked Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I liked 1917, directed by Sam Mendes. 1917 I enjoyed. I enjoyed Blade Runner 2049. I enjoyed Searching with John Cho. Plenty of movies I enjoyed. I'm just not going to gobble the dick of every movie coming out. And if you like the film, that's cool. But I actually pick and choose which movies I like. And there are movies that, this year, Suicide Squad, I like that film. And that's a film that had a bit of that edge to it. The Suicide Squad. And that's why I brought it up. Like, that's a film I enjoyed this year. And you look at that film. And no, I didn't have nudity, but you had, like, the bit where they're going through and they realize they killed the wrong people. And some of the way that some gore happens, some of the violent moments happen, some of the dialogue. The Suicide Squad was a fun movie that could bring a little bit of that edge that we see in 80s, 90s movies. Nobody. I enjoyed that film. And yeah, the villain needed work. That's one of the few flaws I had with the film. But I thought the way Odenkirk beat these guys up and fucked them up, and the way he killed the bad guy, wow, that's very inventive. And the bad guy gets fried, and Christopher Lloyd, his great moment with the shotgun and like blows a fucking hole in someone. You think they don't get Christopher Lloyd? Shotgun. That's like one of the that was a crowd pleasing moment. Yeah. I think there's an audience that missed that, but again, you have to do it right. Just because you do it doesn't automatically give you a pass. You have to do it right. The John Wick film, Suicide Squad, I think they did those right. I don't think you'll ever get back to the nudity because they'd be afraid of being canceled. All that, the phrase of the recent times, to be canceled, whatever. My favorite TV shows were canceled. I'm looking at TV shows I like that were canceled. Martial Law of Sammo Hung, that was canceled. That was a fun show. Daybreak, Tay Diggs, only lasted one season because that was canceled. Many shows I like were canceled. But yeah, a lot of movies have lost their edge. I think there are a lot of people that look at those older films and they go, they're cheesy, they're campy. Oh my God, how could they do this? It's so demoralizing to our society. It's not everybody, but it seems like a lot of general public are acting like the critics felt about these films back in the 80s. And again, this is not to everybody. This is not even to a chunk of people. It's to, there is a section, I might say a large chunk of people, there's a section that their viewers, but they act as if they're Siskel and Ebert, they act as if they're with the New York Times or the Washington Post, and they watch films like this and go, this this is artistically not the right way to do it. And at the end of the day, I do want just fun in entertainment movies. And sometimes edge can help with that. Just don't give it your limits. They could be seasons that help make the picture even better. But them that alone doesn't make it good, but they can help. And it's a dilution of, how do I put it? Almost like neutering. It's almost like taking something and chipping away the edges so it just loses enough of its character, enough of its personality that it becomes kind of ho-hum in nature. And the way Clarence Boddicker acted in RoboCop, bitches leave, and Kid You Fly, Bobby. Would the movie work without Clarence Boddicker throwing out a guy that was one of his own men? Yes, the movie would still work. But that moment gave Clarence Boddicker more of a nasty personality. This is how awful this person is. He told these bitches to leave. He likes the cocaine. Or at least, the Miguel Ferrer's character liked the cocaine more. I think, did Clarence Boddicker take a little bit? Maybe not. I can't remember. Maybe not. But there's a lot of villains that would. It's like these little moments that build up the villain to be even nastier, more hateful, or more, I can't wait till they get their comeuppance. But it's like, we can't make the villain that exquisitely evil, even though it makes it better, whether for PC principles or whether, we can't, it's about people killing people, but we can't be too much, we can't be too nasty, we can't be too mean. I mean, why? It's almost as if they don't know what audience they're making it for. And there's a lot of people that want to reach an audience that, in a way, is like above their pay grade. Stallone, I hate to say, I think Sylvester Stallone, who I do enjoy Stallone. But I think he's become one of those that wants to reach an audience that sadly doesn't care about him. Thus, let me do Rocky IV director's cut and take that away. Again, this is not about the edge thing, but just I want to appeal to the new audience, and I want to appeal as a. You feel free if you want, but I don't think that's going to work out. And that's not just action films. That goes with a lot of horror films. When was the last time you saw a slasher film go into theaters that had a sex scene in it? Like, think about it, in the 80s and even early 90s. You had slasher films, there'd be tits, there'd be ass, there'd be sex scenes. Now, when was the last slasher film that go into theaters that had that? Yes, you can make the film without it. Of course you can. But then it loses a bit of that, okay, sanitized. That's the word I'm thinking of. It just seemed like after the 80s and 90s, action films and slasher, some horror, other than maybe horror that you would see, the extreme horror that was there in the 2000s. But other than that, like, it felt like things would get a bit more sanitized, especially in certain areas. I think action films got that way. The Bourne films, I thought, were much more sanitized versions of films from the 80s and 90s. That's one of the reasons why I don't like the Bourne films. They just do feel like more sanitized versions of films you would see back then. James Bond, they're trying to make James Bond more sanitized. He can't love women like this, that's too sexist, and this and that, and he can't, do this. No, we gotta change how James Bond acts. He's too mean, he's too rude, he loves the women too much, he treats the, let the sanitizing begin, even more so. It's like, they live in this bubble that the world is all sunshine and rainbows. They don't understand it's a dark and dirty place. And if they don't, they're in for a rude awakening. You do tell so. I mean, yeah, just a lot of people that live in a bubble, and it's like, well, that bubble's going to break. And then I think when it does break, they can't handle it. That's why you see a lot of these meltdowns people have on Twitter or Facebook or wherever else. Their bubble burst, and then they don't know how to handle it. I'm like, welcome to the real world. Look what happened to these directors like Paul Feig with the 2016 Ghostbusters and Seth Rogen with his Santa Inc. and all this other stuff. Their bubbles burst, and I'm like, welcome to the real world, pal. I did. That was what was the fun of seeing like the Hitman's Bodyguard and its sequel. Those were fun movies. They felt like a tip back into the yesteryear of films. And those films were not really popular. Not popular with critics. Audiences didn't mind the first one, but the sequel didn't do well. That's what I mean. You also have a different taste of preferences with the public of today. That also helps in the losing of the edge. And I think it could be a reflection of society. You know, someone said you look at the movies, that's what reflects society. And it's true. If you want to know how society is, you look at the movies that came out during that time. As a reflection, 80s, excess, escapism, cocaine-fueled days. And today, you look at the superhero movies, you look at a lot of the SJW woke stuff, but also just a lot of sanitized stuff. Don't be too mean. Don't be too rude. Don't be too violent. Don't be too sexy. Like women. Women, don't be too sexy. Look like a guy. I'm like, why? You're a woman. Be proud of being a woman. Women are sexy. There's nothing wrong with that. If I had a bunch of women say, hey, you're sexy, I'd be like, yes. So I don't know why the opposite is just a big issue. I don't know. So the short answer is, have action movies of today lost their edge when compared to action movies of the 80s and 90s? Fuck yes, they have. Will it come back? I don't know. I don't know. I would lean towards the no. But you will have moments that shine. You know, the John Wick films. Even though it bombed, the Suicide Squad was fun. Nobody did okay. That was fun. You'll have moments. And even then, I don't think... But will you get to the true edge of the 80s and 90s back? No. No. I think just... Sadly, times have changed. It's just how it is. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Sorry, my stomach is rumbling, and my stomach is trying to have a conversation with me. And I wish it would shut up so I could finish the video, but thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.